I have automated my market research to help me validate business ideas or find fresh topics for my content. And you can also do that with just a few clicks. Today, I will show you an easy automation using AI and Reddit to pinpoint exactly what your community wants. Here's the problem. You have identified the communities you want to serve, but you still find it hard to know exactly what they want. You spend hours on social media and you pay for multiple subscriptions to tools, but they don't give you the right ideas. Luckily, there is a much more efficient way. With just a simple, flexible N8N automation, a no-code tool that anyone can learn, I have built an automation that scans subreddits and pinpoints the frustrations, pain points, and problems that people in my community have. This gives me precise insight into what I should build or create in matters of minutes. And all of that costs less than 10 cents each time I make a search. Let me show you how it works. Let's say that I am an entrepreneur and I want to build a product for people managing their own finances or people beginning to invest on their own. So retail investors or casual investors. It's a three-step process in the automation. In step one, we retrieve the posts. In this trigger, we can specify the subreddits that we want to search. So in this case, portfolios in investing for beginners. And we're going to search some key phrases that are typical for people looking for advice or expressing some pain points or problems. We then trigger the workflow and it will get posts, in this case 600 posts. We then, in step two, going to filter those relevant posts to check that they are actual problems that people are expressing and not advertisement, information, or irrelevant posts in those subreddits. We're going to use a reasoning AI. We're going to filter those posts. And in step three, we are going to extract the common patterns from all those 600 posts. We're going to use another AI that extracts the common patterns. In the end, we get a comprehensive overview of common pain point patterns for this community with specific examples. So we see the various usual pain points, the fear of loss of risk aversion, for example, or searching learning resources, for example. And we can take these findings and dive deeper into them or create products to meet this demand. Now, the thing that I love about this setup is that you have full access to all the data. If you want to go and deep dive into one of those hypotheses, you see there were ID items which you can then look up into the database where the posts have been saved, and you can dive deeper and verify those hypotheses or see the comments, for example, to a post to give you more flavor for the problem that you are trying to solve. This is not always the case with subscription apps which do the work behind the scenes for you and present you an output. Sometimes the output that they present, you do not have full control over. How did they select that summary, which posts went into that summary, and what tracing can you do for that hypothesis. What I also love about this setup is that the analysis only took a few minutes to create, and it cost me only 10 cents for one of the underlying models that did the analysis. Now, to use the tool N8N, there is a monthly cost. So if you use the managed solution that they provide, it's $25 a month. You can also self-host it yourself on a server, which takes the cost down to less than $10. But I really think it's worth the investment. N8N is the most powerful no-code tool you could use, and it's really a door to AI-enabled workflows. So it's a little investment, but it will save you a lot of money because you can forego a lot of subscriptions on a lot of SaaS apps that you used to pay for. You can actually build it yourself over time. In the next part of this video, I will show you from scratch how you can replicate this little workflow. It's very easy. You can just copy a file, set up a few credentials, and you're ready to go. And if you're ready to learn more about how to use AI in your workflows, I will be posting plenty more videos. Also, if you stay to the end of the video, I will give a little bonus tip on how to find subreddits that relate to a niche or a community that you're interested in. So stick around for that, and let's get you going with this workflow in a few easy steps. Once you sign up to an N8N account, just click Start from Scratch. Then download the template document that I have left in the comments. Then go here and import from file. The template is called Reddit Nuggets template.json. And there you go. You get all the blocks that I have used for my workflow. Now, what you need to do is to add credentials or login information for 5 services we use in this template. Reddit to get the posts, Airtable to save the posts into the Airtable database, Grok, which is a service that serves different open source AI models, which we use here for filtering relevant posts, then the Gemini API, and then Google Docs, where we save the final output. I will leave 5 links for each of these. The steps should be clear. It's a little bit tedious to do in the beginning, but keep in mind you will reuse these credentials as you build more automations. So it's a one-off investment. Once you've added the credentials, here are the essentials that you need to know to run this workflow. Go to the trigger point. You can call this niche search anything you want. It doesn't matter. It will just show up in the final document. Here, you need to provide valid subreddit names. For example, portfolios, investing for beginners. These are the names r dash and then those names. Then provide the key phrases that you want. I have chosen 6 key phrases that typically are related to advice seeking or questions that people have in relation to problems they have. I would recommend to keep these like that, but they can accept different options if you wish. Then one important thing to know is in this node, we are requesting posts from Reddit. Everything is set up to accept those combinations that you have initially defined. But one thing to point out is we are searching for the combination how to together, not word by word. That's why we have this expression here that combines the two together. Otherwise, you will have a lot of generic posts where how and to show up at different places. Here, you should change this to 100. In your template, it should be 100. This is the maximum number of posts per request that Reddit allows. The variable t is how far back from today's date do we go back to search for posts. You can put year, month, week, day. These are the options available. Everything else should stay as default. We are sorting by the top posts, and this variable restrict just says that we only restricting the search to the subreddits mentioned. If we put this to false, the search will also return general posts from all over Reddit. When we are filtering the posts for things that are relevant to us, I have set up a custom prompt that gives the criteria that I wanted in my posts, and then the post itself formatted. You should not need to change this. However, as you get comfortable with N8N, you could change, of course, these and see different results. Underlying this, the node uses the Qwen Quick 32B model. It's a very high performance model comparable to DeepSeek R1 of a few months ago, and it costs much less than R1 because it's a smaller model. As you can see in these benchmarks, in red is the Qwen model and in blue the R1 model on various benchmarks, and it performs very strongly. Therefore, I chose it for this template. So then the model will take some time and process these items, and we're going to filter the ones that are relevant here. And then we're going to save those posts in this loop in Airtable. There is a limit of 10 items per batch that can be saved in Airtable. Therefore, there is this loop. For Airtable, all you need to do is set up a base and then a table with the following columns. Subreddit for a string, pain point or advice summary as a long text, URL as a URL, item ID as a string, post content as a long text, date created as a date, and then niche as a single line string. I will leave these fields in a note as well. And then to connect the request, you need to look up a couple of things in your base. So you see this link, you should then look at the app segment of your URL, that one that starts with app, copy it over to the link and replace that one there. And this part of the URL, which starts with TBL, you should also get it from the table that you have created. So this part. Everything else should be the same. And then you will get your data saved and you can deep dive into those items when you need it. And finally, the last part is to extract the patterns from all these data and the summaries that we've created. And we also have a prompt which tells Gemini Flash 2.0 in this case to provide some synthesis, let's say, of all the posts and the summaries, up to 10 items that detail problems and pain points. And this is the Gemini 2.0 Flash. It's free for up to, I believe, 15 requests per minute. And this is just one request per report that we produce. So this is very good. It has a very good performance. And its final output, like I have shown, shows that it can track specific items. These are the item IDs from your database. And so you can go and look at the points that the model has made in terms of a pain point. And then you can directly relate it to a ID and to an item in your database, where you can go and look at the post, then you can find the link. And if you want to do more research, you can then click on the link and, for example, go and see the comments if there is more information that you want to learn. All you need to do to make the workflow work is to just click test workflow. And in the end, you're going to get a document saved in Google Docs. If you have at any point encountering any issues with the credentials or anything in the steps, please leave a question and I'll be happy to help. And as promised, here's a little bonus. If you know the community that you want to target or an audience that you want to target, but are not sure which subreddits to find, this website map of Reddit is very helpful. So you can basically type a subreddit, let's say Wall Street Bets is, for example, one. And then it will map out which related subreddits exist. So then you can just click on these and look if they are relevant for you or not. This concludes this little overview of this workflow. Thank you for watching. Take care.